Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum. Hey guys, Atlas here to tell you about things in life. Hobby as a business. So, I discussed in the first video. If you didn't watch that, you can just come in at any point. In the first video, I kind of go over about being selfish. You come first. That's the biz. But this one, once you start to focus on you and what it is you want to do, and putting yourself first and making sure you remember that and you follow along with that, there is going to be a happenstance where once you start to shut out and you start to realize that your wants and needs are more important for what you're trying to do for your hobby and so forth and so on, just keep in mind that the less people know, the better it is for you to do what you're doing. Like the less people, some people are really nosy. Let's just be for real. Some people are so nosy, and sometimes the nosiness turns into like obnoxiousness, turns into it's now their business. It turns into so forth and so on. And next thing you know, jealousy and whatever else. And these people will literally go out of their way to make it, a pain for you to do what you are doing. And it's just so, oh God, man. Like I've been there. I've been there. I'm not one to tell people my business, but sometimes I am in so much shrouded mystery that it causes people to want to mind my business, if that makes sense. Um, I don't I don't have a lot of friends, acquaintances maybe, but I don't have a lot of friends. But I do show a lot of love for people who I can just empathize and like, man, you're all right. Sometimes you ever read through a text message feeling emotion, like you could feel it vibing off them. It's like, what's going on? What's wrong? I am one of those people. So I have a tendency to keep my distance at times because I know that energy is gonna come to me. And so it's not so much like, yeah, you know what? It is as much as, yeah, just don't be out there with your business junking and driving. That's the only way I could put that. Um like you just don't understand, like sometimes those energies that you put out there will just follow you home. And when you're trying to get things done and work on things, sometimes it's as bad as reading crappy messages that people leave you because they're jealous or upset or whatever the case is with you. And then you read those messages and it brings down your emotions, it brings down your spirit in general. And now you're just stuck with not wanting to do anything, and they've just killed your vibe. And that was the whole idea on their end, is to kill your vibe, because now they feel like I did my job. And it's like, mean girls, mean boys, mean people, like they're everywhere. And sometimes you being a good, kind-hearted person would make you gullible to wanting to just, or sometimes you're excited and you want to talk and tell people things and stuff and everything. I have never been the person to, if I got a new car, and this is years ago, got a new car, and I purposely would park in the middle of nowhere and leave a whole half hour earlier for work because I didn't want people to know I had got a new car. Mind you, it was new to me. It wasn't brand new, off lot. Like, I'm not that person. I'm not that person. If you have something you love and you want to gift it to me, so be it. And that was my pickup truck. And I love this thing. Just, ooh, I loved it. But, like, I'm being for real. I parked in the middle of nowhere because I did not want people seeing that I had a vehicle, because the other one was like, so I had to get a new one. And when someone had asked if I could just drop them off to the train station up the street, I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah, not a problem. And it didn't occur to me, my kindness in just driving them up the street, because it was winter, mind you, and snowing, that I would get to work the next day, closing shift, and find out that everyone now knows that I have a blue pickup truck. And it was like, um, so that was my fault. My fault, totally. I Sometimes you just don't want people in your business. That's all it comes down to. Because I was gonna say something else, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna retract that. Um, if you're working on something, if you're, um, if it's a goal of yours to complete it at a certain time, if you're trying to put something together for yourself, you don't want to put the news out there. Sometimes putting news out before things are actually in place causes a structural deterioration. And it will just lead to you not moving anywhere ahead, just moving backwards and losing progress. Because this leads back to the first one. Sometimes you opening your mouth and making it a big deal and telling people who don't need to know will cause them to interfere with you putting yourself first, because then you have to focus on fixing the mess. Just like that.